You may not see it now, but there are blessings already set aside for you, tailored to your name, your purpose, your path. You're not chasing after something that's running from you. You're walking a road that's already been paved with promise. The truth is, when you stay faithful to the journey, the blessing will chase you. Think about it. You weren't put here by accident. Your dreams aren't random. Your gifts aren't coincidences. That passion burning in your chest was placed there for a reason, and every step you take with integrity, discipline, and faith brings you closer to what's already been designed for you. You don't have to scheme for it. You don't have to beg for it. You just have to be ready for it. But don't misunderstand, this isn't a passive waiting game. You can't sit on the couch and expect the world to deliver you everything you've ever dreamed of. No, you plant seeds, you water them, you nurture the ground even when it feels dry, even when nothing seems to be growing. You do the work, and when you think nobody's watching, when you think it's all for nothing, that's when the blessing turns the corner and starts coming toward you. You may be in a season right now where it feels like everything is uphill, like you're giving your all and getting little in return. But what if I told you that the struggle is actually confirmation that something greater is coming? Because resistance shows up when you're close. Frustration is often the last gate before breakthrough. You're not behind. You're being positioned. You're being refined. And soon, that blessing you thought you had to chase will find you. Don't let the world convince you that you have to claw your way to worthiness. You're already enough. You already qualify. What's meant for you is on its way, and it knows exactly where to find you. That job, that opportunity, that connection, that breakthrough, it will show up not just when you want it, but when you're ready to carry it. And sometimes readiness looks like rejection. It looks like delay. It looks like closed doors. But all of that is shaping you, preparing your hands to hold what's coming. Every act of kindness, every bit of honesty, every time you choose growth over comfort, every moment you show up when it would be easier to quit, you're sending out a signal. And that signal reaches further than you think. It touches people you've never met. It creates ripples you can't always see, and eventually it circles back to you, not as coincidence, but as confirmation. Because blessings don't respond to desperation. They respond to alignment. They respond to truth. They respond to persistence. So keep walking. Keep believing. Keep building when no one claps for you. Keep showing up when it would be easier to hide. The blessing isn't lost. It's just gaining momentum. It's being multiplied. It's being customized. And when it finally arrives, it won't be a trickle, it'll be a flood. Not because you chased it, but because you grew into the version of yourself who could receive it. You may not see it now, but there are blessings already set aside for you, written into the blueprint of your life long before you even knew to ask for them. They are not behind locked doors you have to break down or treasures buried deep beneath the earth. They are timed, positioned, and placed like stars across your journey, waiting for your arrival. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to be everywhere, do everything, or force what's not meant to be. Because what is truly yours is not running away, it's running toward you. So often, we think we need to hustle harder, be louder, work longer to earn what we desire. But blessings don't come because of how frantic you are. They come because of how aligned you are. They respond to the quiet decisions you make when no one is watching, to the integrity you hold when cutting corners would be easier, to the moments you rise even when everything in you says stay down. Every step in truth, every choice rooted in love, pulls those blessings closer like gravity. It's easy to believe that the good things in life are reserved for someone else, someone with more experience, more talent, more favor. But the truth is, the universe doesn't play favorites. It honors the faithful. When you live with purpose and intention, when you dare to dream and move forward despite the fear, the blessings start to pick up speed. You don't have to manipulate or maneuver your way into a miracle. You just have to keep moving in your purpose. The blessings that are meant for you don't need a map to find you. They already know your name. They already recognize your energy. They are already in motion, closing the distance. This is not a passive wait. And see life. You don't sit on your hands hoping something miraculous falls from the sky. You plant, you water, you keep showing up, even when the ground looks barren and the skies stay quiet. That's where real faith lives. In the unseen, in the persistence, in the process. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, and it's rarely applauded. But it's the most powerful kind of preparation. Because while others are waiting for the right moment, you're creating it. The world may not notice the mornings you rise early to work on your dreams. No one may clap for the nights you stay up late learning, building, believing. There's no spotlight on the courage it takes to keep going when the results aren't immediate. But that's where the magic brews. In the unseen effort, the silent sacrifices, the decisions you make in the dark that shape who you become in the light. Every seed you plant in discipline and patience is a promise in progress. And here's the truth. The blessing isn't always late. Sometimes it's just waiting for you to grow into it, waiting for your mindset to catch up, waiting for your habits to align, waiting for your heart to be strong enough to carry it without cracking. So when it feels like nothing is happening, remind yourself, something always is. Roots grow before branches show. The miracle is unfolding beneath the surface. You're not wasting time. You're gaining strength. You're not being overlooked. You're being developed. Keep doing the work. Keep trusting the process. The blessing is not stationary. It's gathering speed. And one day soon, it will arrive so swiftly, it will feel like it was chasing you all along. You might be in a season right now that feels heavy, where every step forward seems to be met with resistance. Every prayer echoes back in silence, and every effort feels like it's swallowed by emptiness. But don't be fooled by the struggle. Don't misinterpret the pressure as punishment. Resistance is not a sign of failure. It's often the sound of transformation in motion. It means you're growing, stretching, becoming. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's tiring. But it's also proof that you're getting closer to what's meant for you. Breakthrough doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always knock politely. Sometimes it shows up disguised as a delay, as rejection, as a no. That doesn't make sense right now. But what if the struggle is actually divine redirection? What if the closed doors are guarding you from lesser things so that greater things can catch up? Just because the blessing isn't in your hands yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. It could be just around the next decision, the next sacrifice, the next moment you choose not to quit. Too many people give up right before the shift. They walk away because they think it's not working, when in truth, the blessing was preparing to show up at full speed. But the blessing doesn't come to the one who stops, it finds the one who stands, who believes, who presses on when logic says there's no reason left to. That's when it appears, that's when the doors swing open. That's when you realize the wait wasn't wasted, it was woven with purpose, and suddenly, everything you carried becomes lighter, because now, the blessing is carrying you. You don't have to chase your worth. You don't have to prove that you're enough for what's already meant to be yours. You are not behind. You are not lacking. You are not late. What's designed for you is moving toward you. Not because you're striving endlessly, but because you're becoming the version of yourself who can hold it. The delay isn't denial, it's development. Sometimes the blessing is not held back. Sometimes it's held in trust, waiting for your character to align with its weight. It's easy to compare your journey to others, to wonder why theirs seems quicker, smoother, more successful. But you don't know what's being built behind the scenes of your story. You don't see the roots going deep, anchoring you in strength before elevation comes. Blessings don't rush. They arrive on divine timing, and they come not to impress, but to empower. And when they show up, they'll match your capacity, not just your desire. That's why growth matters. That's why healing matters. That's why preparation matters. Every delay, every detour, every season of waiting is not just a pause, it's a process. The doors you thought were closing on you may actually be opening something inside of you. You're not just waiting for a moment. You're becoming someone who can live beyond the moment. You're becoming someone who won't just receive the blessing, but multiply it. So breathe, trust the process. What's meant for you is not slipping away. It's aligning, it's building momentum, and it's coming with more force, more favor, and more fulfillment than you imagined. Not because you chased it down, but because you were ready when it arrived. Every time you show up when it would be easier to shrink back, you're sending out a signal to the universe that you're ready. Every moment you choose discipline over distraction, truth over convenience, courage over comfort, you're building momentum in the unseen. You may think no one notices, but heaven does, the energy does, the blessing does. Your effort is never wasted, even if the results take time to catch up. The world may not clap, but your consistency is echoing in places you can't yet hear. There is a divine order to things. Blessings respond not to noise, not to force, but to alignment. That means your energy, your attitude, your actions, all working in harmony with your purpose. It's not about being perfect. It's about being faithful. When you walk in integrity, when you stay rooted in who you are despite the chaos around you, you send out a frequency that attracts exactly what's meant for you. Not just any opportunity, the right one. Not just any success, sustainable success. Not just any love, the one that fits your soul. You don't have to beg for what belongs to you. You just have to become the kind of person who can recognize it and receive it when it arrives. And that's the work you're doing now. Quiet, steady, sacred work. You're not waiting for luck. You're aligning with legacy. You're not hoping for favor. You're stepping into it. And when that moment comes, when everything you've been working for and believing in finally shows up, it won't feel like chance. It will feel like confirmation, not because you chased it, but because your life became the landing place for what was always destined to find you. Sometimes the blessings don't come all at once. They build quietly, like a storm gathering just beyond the horizon. You may not see them yet, but they're forming, gathering force, drawing nearer with every step you take in obedience to your calling. The energy you're putting into your journey, the love you pour into your craft, the persistence you show even when the results are invisible, all of it is stacking, compounding, building something powerful behind the scenes. And when the blessing finally arrives, it won't be a whisper, it'll be a flood. It will feel sudden, but it won't be. It will feel like everything changed overnight, but deep down, you'll know it was every morning you got up when you didn't feel like it. Every time you kept your heart soft in a hard world, every moment you stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier, all of it was calling the blessing in every choice, every prayer, every tear, every act of faith. The blessing wasn't avoiding you, it was growing with you. You were never forgotten, never overlooked. You were simply being prepared, because the kind of blessing that chases you down, the kind that elevates your life and echoes into the lives of others, requires a strong foundation. It doesn't just visit, it stays, and so you had to be strengthened for it. You had to be stretched, and now, as you rise into who you were always meant to be, the blessing recognizes you. It sees the light in you, the resilience, the truth. It finds you ready, not just to receive, but to carry, to protect, and to expand what's been given. What once felt like silence will soon sound like celebration, not just around you, but within you. So here you are standing at the edge of everything you've been growing toward. You've walked through the silent seasons, endured the tests, pushed through the doubt, and chosen faith over fear more times than anyone knows. And now, something is shifting, not just around you, but within you. You're not the same person who started this journey. You're stronger, wiser, clearer. You've stopped chasing things that don't align with your spirit, and you've started moving in step with your purpose. That's why the blessings are coming, not randomly, not by chance, but because you've become the version of yourself that is ready to receive them. All along, the blessing wasn't just something to be given. It was something to be matched to your growth. It's not a reward for being perfect. It's the result of being persistent, of standing tall in your truth even when everything around you tried to convince you otherwise. The blessing sees that. It responds to that. And it's not creeping toward you. It's rushing. It's chasing you with open arms, not because you begged for it, but because you aligned with it. You didn't have to prove your worth. You just had to remember it. You didn't have to force doors open. You just had to walk in integrity until the right doors opened wide on their own. You didn't have to pretend to be someone else. You just had to grow fully into yourself. And now, the blessings that were always yours by design are making their way to you, not as some final destination, but as a continuation of everything you've been building. Because blessings don't just come to elevate your life. They come to multiply your impact. They come so you can pour into others, so you can lift as you climb, so you can be the evidence that it's possible, that showing up with love and grit and vision pays off, that doing the right thing, even when no one sees it, matters. That staying true to your soul in a world full of shortcuts is never in vain. You are becoming the proof someone else needs to keep going, and that, in itself, is a blessing. You see, when the blessing catches up to you, it won't feel foreign. It will feel like home, like something your heart already knew was coming, and that's because your journey wasn't about earning the blessing. It was about becoming the person who could carry it without losing yourself. It was about building the character, the humility, the strength to not only receive, but to sustain. And now that you're here, fully aware of your worth, deeply connected to your calling, you won't just be blessed, you'll be a blessing. Let this be the reminder you carry forward. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. What's meant for you knows its way. Keep your hands open, your heart clear, your steps steady. The blessing isn't behind you. It's ahead of you. It's above you. It's around you. And more than anything, it's within you. It's in the way you continue, the way you believe, the way you shine even in shadows. You've done the work. You've walked through the fire. You've grown through the waiting. And now the shift is here. The air feels different because you are different. And what's chasing you now is no longer fear, no longer doubt, no longer delay. It's favor. It's provision. It's overflow. The blessing isn't coming because you chased it down. It's coming because you finally became everything it was always looking for.